Hello, I'm John McCabe and I'm a discussion group facilitator on the Chagas Dairy Gold Joint Programme, and Mike Bermingham is part of the Ballyhooly discussion group which I attend. So today we're just going to go through the crop performance report and just look at the key cogs in the wheel when we're talking about the production on this farm and the genetics. So Mike, crop performance report is fairly impressive. You delivered 558 kgs of milk solids per cow last year. And a high kgs of milk solids per hectare. So what do you attribute all the stars on the crop performance report to?
I suppose the genetics of the cow. I suppose we've good genetics in the herd. They're mature herd. We've a good 6-week calving rate. Their fertility is good. I suppose they'd be the key things.
Okay.
We try and have a lot of the cows calved for Patrick's Day. Try to get as much milk into the tank as we can around that time, and they'll be the key drivers.
Okay, so you're calving a large percentage of your herd in the first 6 weeks.
Yeah,
not too many.
About 92%. I think the past couple of years we're over 90% the past couple of years. Start breeding around the first of May, let's say maybe a day or two before the 1st of May.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of the bull, then when is the bull gone?
The bull is pulled after 10 weeks. We don't want any cow calving after the 15th of April, to be honest. We want a bit of a break between the 15th, let's say the cows finish calving, and the start of AI. We want to have all the calves off the farm at that stage.
Okay, and we can see that last year in 2019, only 4% of the herd calved in April.
Oh right, yeah,
so,
yeah.
Excellent. I suppose what other benefits do you see from pulling the bull so early?
I suppose you've more compact. You're breeding off your most fertile cows all the time. We finish up. We don't milk probably after the 10th of December, so there's no point in having a cow calving for us in the middle of May. She's going to be dried anyway in the middle of December, so she's not going to do much for us.
Okay.
So that's why we pull the bull, and really it's for workload. It's compact everything. You've calving, breeding, and then you're finished in until calving again.
Could you make a comment on your replacement rate? What decisions do you make around your replacement rate? Because at the end of the day, this is a fairly simple yet effective method of maturing your herd.
Yeah, I suppose we've only had about probably 18 to 20% the past couple of years, so that's left the herd get mature. Really, the replacement rate is, let's say, empty cows, any cell count issues, if there's a cow, we want a simple system. So if there's a cow with a problem, she has to go.
Okay.
And so
percentage empty running over the last
I think
couple of
around
years?
10% last year. It might have been slightly higher. Might have been 11 or 12%, I think.
Okay.
But averaging around 10% the past few years.
Very good. So
yeah.
that's showing that there's good fertility
Yes.
in the herd when you're still breeding for a short period of time.
Exactly.
The replacements are generated from the most fertile herd or cows in the herd. Could you just give us an idea of how long you breed dairy AI and what happens with the heifers?
we what we do is the first 3 weeks is solely dairy AI, and as well as that we're probably breeding out of maybe the bottom 10% of the cows are getting the beef bull straight away, and the rest are bred to AI, Frisian AI or Jersey AI for 3 weeks.
Okay. And are you realising enough heifers from
Yeah, we're plenty of heifers actually. We probably just enough this year, but normally we probably have a little bit of surplus to sell, to be honest.
Okay.
Probably sell 5 or 6 of them.
And are you using AI on the heifers also?
We might do a fixed time program on the heifers, and then just left off a beef bull then after that.
Okay.
That's
okay.
it.
So, yeah, and we can see from the dairy calving report that you calved half your heifers in 7 days in 2019, which is a very fast.
It's pretty good now. To be fair, they were all fairly rapid.
What about the genetics of the herd? could you tell us your story about where you came from? Like what were you looking for when you went out sourcing the herd from day one?
I suppose we bought the herd out of as calves. They both came out of two herds, high EBI herds. They were there was crossbreds and Friesians.
What sort of weight are they averaging?
About 520.
Okay.
520 roughly.
So they're delivering more than their body weight
Yes.
in terms of milk solids.
I think they're 1.07. I think.
Okay, very good, very good.
Yeah.
What were you looking for when you were looking at the individual traits? I suppose?
I suppose good fat and protein, good solids. They were kind of the main two. I didn't worry any about milk, or they were out of fertile herds. That was basically the criteria, to be honest. High EBI.
Okay.
High EBI was the main driver, really.
Very good, very good.
know?
And in terms of picking bulls,
we're at the moment. Yeah, we're picking. We pick bulls mainly percentages, solids, fertility, and maintenance.
Okay.
You know.
So we can see from your EBI report you have a very strong milk sub-index of 17 or 18 kgs of milk solids above the base, and a good fertility sub-index, but the hybrid
vigor would kick in there a bit,
hybrid
vigor would kick in there with the crossbred herd.
Yeah, so and we can see that's attributing to your 92% 6-week calving rate, and your 18% replacement rate,
yes.
and the speed at which you're calving your heifers.
Yeah.
What about the bull calf? What are you doing with your bull calves?
Yeah,
where
the bull calves actually. The bull calves. Well, we only do 3 weeks of let's say dairy AI, John. So. They're sold at the mart, or they're sold. They're actually farmers come from actually. So they're gone that way. After that, then we're using good beef bulls off the dairy beef index, and so we've no issue selling them. And for the wind up, then we've an Angus bull running with the cows for the last 4 or 5 weeks, let's say. So that's it.
So, Mike, you've a high EBI herd, and you've told us about your genetic strategy up until now. What's your strategy going forward? Are you going to continue with the crossbreeding, and what's the plan?
Yeah, John, I'd say we will, to be honest with you. We'll keep going with crossbreeding. Anything fairly Friesianish will get Jersey, and anything Jersey will get Friesian. So we'll keep it criss-cross, let's say.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for going through the crop performance report and the genetics. So it's a high production herd. You delivered 558 kgs of milk solids per cow, which is brilliant. You have a 5-star crop performance report the whole way down. Could you just summarise of how you achieved that, apart from the grassland management, which is obviously key, but could you just summarise the points around the genetics and the breeding?
Yeah, I suppose, John, we've a high EBI herd with good solids. We're aiming to have 90% of the cows calved and in the tank for Patrick's Day. They're a mature herd. We've a lowish enough replacement rate at about 18%. So that's leading us to be able to produce over 1,200 kilos of milk solids now this year per hectare, with similar meal to last year.